Hi, here at the Maker Barn again today, and generally I don't do product reviews, but this particular one I wanted to tell you guys about. This is a tool made by Mesa Tool, and it's a threading tool, and it works for both internal and external threads, and it's really a slick device. I'll show you why in a minute. One of the things that it's interesting. It has the carbide inserts are designed such that they sit in the tool in the center line of the tool for both the turning and the internal threads, both internal and external threads. And it comes with two inserts, one right hand, one left hand, for external and internal threads, and they're reversible. So this means that this device can be set up to cut threads, right-hand threads from left to right on your lathe. In other words, the tool would be in the lathe upside down. The other thing it has is a real narrow, very, in fact, actually almost follows that 30-degree profile on the side of the tool, of the cutting tool, to give you a lot of clearance when you get in there close to the to a center, if you've got if you're using a live center or even a dead center. Anyway, let's take a good close look at the parts. We'll do a close-up on that. All right, this is the close-up view. If you can see that, all right. You see it has two ends. It's kind of a round thing, but it has flat sides all around. This is the half-inch version. They actually make a half-inch and they make a 5/8 version. But since this is what I plan to use for a lot of smaller work, the half-inch would work better for my needs. We'll pull off the inserts. I just use a number 10 Torx, and it's a standard 440 threaded. And see how easily they come out. Now, if you notice when you get these, let's see if you can see these well enough. There actually is a right hand and a left hand version. And maybe I can get a little bit better close up of these. Anyway, yeah, there's a right hand and a left hand version with the tool. So the normal setup, you would have this right hand version in this part of the tool. It fits very snugly, just a great fit. I would put a screw in there, of course. And for internal threads, we'd have it set up like this. So you can actually put it in a tool holder such that you can cut external threads, then move the tool holder to the other side if you have like a Loris type tool holder, and then you can cut the internal ones. But here's the neat part, that well, you can see this angle right here, how steep it is. So you got lots of clearance between the tool, the cutting tool, and the center. Now the neat thing is I can reverse these things, and you notice this goes in upside down, and now I can cut right-hand threads from the left toward the right, just like as if you're cutting a left-hand thread with a normal tool, but this is upside down, run the lathe backwards, and I'll show you in a little while the advantage of that, but it is quite an advantage. Same with if I take this device and put it in here, then I've got the same situation. I cut on this side, and with the lathe running in reverse, that means I can bring it all the way up to the inside shoulder and bring it out. I'll show you a part here in just a second that I made. Well, here's a couple of things I made. You can see how this thread, this is a 1/2-20 thread, this little machinist jack here, but you can see how I was able to start cutting the threads. Of course, it's upside down right next to that shoulder. And then of course it cuts. Let's see, have it here. Okay, right next to that shoulder. And then of course I'm cutting going this way, even though it's right-hand threads, since the lathe is running opposite, it goes from left to right. Joe Pye is a a big promoter of this method, and it works well. I'd noticed I use a 10EE in my own shop most of the time for fine work, and I've just gotten used to keeping a half nut engaged and not using the threading dial. But this method, you can use a threading dial. We'll get to the lathe here in a little while. I'll show you. Now here's another thing. This is 20 threads per inch, and you can see it was no problem starting it right next to that shoulder. If I had to come up and stop there, that would really be hard to do. And then for the inside threads, the same way. See how the threads start right up against the back. So I was able to use this tool. Yeah, let's see, get this position better. But use this tool like this, lathe running backwards, come right up against the bottom to start the thread and come out, return, just using the carriage stop on the lathe, and it's able to get that thread right against the bottom. Now these inserts, they're 93 thousandths wide, so you're limited in the coarseness of the thread, let's say, that you can do. They say 11. I think that even 11 might be kind of difficult with the 93 thousandths wide cutter. But I've cut these at 20. I've cut as coarse as 16 with this thing, and works just great. Let's get down to the lathe, and actually I'll show you how it all works. All right, I've mounted it in a tool holder, and you can see it's actually mounted. It's upside down. This is a left-hand cutting, cutter insert over here, right-hand insert on this side. Notice how you've got, if you mount it, this is a BXA type tool holder, and even in a BXA you've got quite a bit of extension over here, so you can do internal threads and external threads, and just simply moving them around on the tool post. And I've got set to center height. Drop it in there, lock it down good. Now, I've got a shoulder cut on this thing. I'm not sure what the diameter is, doesn't really matter at this point. But what I want to do is maybe clean up this edge and come over here, come right up to this side, and then I'll set my carriage stop. So let's see, guard up. Oop. One thing is you have to make sure that you put it in reverse. If you hit this carbide in there with it going the wrong direction, of course, you know it's not going to be good at all for the carbide. We'll just simply cut a little chamfer here at the beginning. I'm going to come over here. Let's start the thread right here. We're cutting 24 threads per inch. So I'm going to stop there, and then I'm going to get set the carriage stop. Get over here. So I'm right up against it. So, actually I have to move over just a little bit. Okay. And set the carriage stop. Come back up against it. Okay, I can zero out my. Let's see. I'll go ahead and start. Remember, run in reverse. Look for my line, and I'll zero out my X. But anyway, so you could do it one of two ways. You could just go ahead and come in here for each pass, or you could cut an undercut. I think what I'll do is I'll just start with come in at each pass. I'll put a little bit of lubricant on there, and start at about 20 thousandths, and wait for a number to come around. There we go. So no problem. Even if I had a center on this thing, you can see how much clearance I have on this side. Back it off, and then I stop. Run in about We'll take another 20 thousandths off. Wait for a number to come around. Just that simple. In this particular lathe, the next speed up, unfortunately, is 200, which is a little too fast for me. I'm going to do about 50 thousandths deep cut now. It's another 10. But I'm not really doing a measurement here, so let's take a look at that. I'm going to clean off a bit and maybe a little bit of that's not too bad. This is just some old 1018 here, but it'll do a nice job, and you can see how easy it is to work right up against that shoulder and come on out. Now it's the same way with if I was doing an internal thread. I'd be working essentially the same way. You know, I'd be running in reverse. I'd be cutting on this edge, cutting on this edge, and which is already at halfway point, right? So I'm in the center, and I just be, you know, make an internal cut. But I could start up against the bottom of the cutout. Anyway, that's pretty neat. Let's put the lathe away. All right, just to kind of wrap things up here. Again, this is available from Mesa Tool. They're only $42, and that includes the two inserts. And I guess you can see it better up here. They also make a 5/8 version. I'll put a link in the comment section down below. And good luck. I think that if you do some fine threading work, you'll find that this is really a great tool and really very versatile. Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate it.